Why do we take birth again and again? This story is about a soul, a divine spark that came from God and had experienced many births. Let's begin. One day, while resting on a cloud in the spiritual world, this soul looked at the earth and said to God, "Father, I want to go to earth again." God smiled gently and asked, "Why, my child? You've been to earth many times. You've played many roles, rich, poor, healthy, sick, male, female, every possible experience. Why again?" the soul said. "Yes, Father, but there's still something I haven't fully understood. I want to experience unconditional love. I want to learn forgiveness. I want to rise above anger and ego." God nodded and asked, "So, you want to grow spiritually? Are you ready to go through pain and challenges for that?" The soul answered with deep determination, "Yes, Father, I am ready." God then called upon other souls. A group gathered, some known, some strangers. God said, "This soul wants to go to earth again to learn forgiveness and love. Who among you would like to help?" One soul stepped forward and said, "I will go as your mother. I will love you deeply, but also teach you patience by being strict sometimes." Another said, "I will be your husband. I will be with you in joy and sorrow, but will also test your tolerance and forgiveness." Yet another soul came forward and said, "I will hurt you deeply so that you can learn to forgive." Another said, "I will betray you so you can learn detachment." And so it went on. Souls volunteered to play different roles, some comforting, some painful. All agreed to forget their true nature once on earth, so the experience would be real and the learning deep. God looked at all of them and said lovingly, "Remember, you are all divine. These roles are only for learning. Don't get trapped in them. Learn what you came for. Come back home." With that, the soul took birth on earth. It forgot everything its promises, its soul family, and its purpose. But God had placed a small light within the inner voice, the conscience. Whenever the soul would cry out in pain, that voice would whisper, "You're not alone. Remember why you came." The soul's journey had begun. As time passed, the soul began living its life on earth. It became a child, a teenager, then an adult. It laughed, cried, succeeded, failed. Just like everyone else, it faced love and heartbreak, hope and disappointment. Sometimes, when life became too hard, the soul would cry out in frustration, "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" It had forgotten the promises it made before taking birth. It had forgotten that each pain was a lesson, each betrayal a test, and every relationship a part of a divine plan. One day, after facing great sorrow, the soul sat quietly in a corner and began to reflect. A soft voice rose from within. "You are not just this body. You are light. You are love. You came to learn. Remember?" That small whisper gave the soul strength. It began to understand that the people who hurt it the most were actually souls who had loved it enough to help it grow even through pain. The soul slowly began to change. It forgave. It let go. It stopped blaming. It started seeing life as a school, where every situation was a lesson and every person a teacher. The more it listened to that inner voice, the more peaceful it felt. And one day, when its journey on earth came to an end, the soul returned to God. God embraced the soul and asked, "Did you learn what you had gone for?" The soul, now filled with light, smiled and said, "Yes, Father. I remembered love. I learned forgiveness. I overcame my ego. I finally understood." God smiled and said, "You have become ready. Now you are free." If you found this story enlightening, full of love and life, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for the content like this in coming days. Thank you. Stay curious and stay blessed.